And that's a new one on me. I got a thumbs up before I even started saying anything, and before I see that anyone's in the room or not. All right. Hey there, broke farmer. Oh yeah, I remember your show. Very good show there, young man. Very good show. Broke farmer. Yeah. Yep. I watch it. It's very. I like the fact that you are yourself when you're in front of that camera. You yourself. Let's see. Hey, buddy. Let's see. Creek Walker. Okay. Nice to see both of you in the room. I got one person hiding out back there. Here's what I want to talk about today, real quick. Um, I'm a bit of a perfectionist, and I realize that. Okay. And I'm addicted to gardening. That is just a sickness I have. Um, but it keeps me out of trouble. Um, the thing I'm looking at here is that my plants are doing extremely well, in my opinion. I'm showing another technique on how to harden off your plants indoors. That video should be up. In fact, now. But the thing about it is, um, I'm looking at color as far as my leaf color, and it tells me something. It tells me that I need to do something. We addicted. Yeah, we all are addicted. Yes, we are. I heard you say that one time on your show, and I said to myself, I said, wait a minute. That's something I always say. I always say addicted because it's a sickness with me, that day and night, when I go home, when I'm at work, when I'm driving, when I'm home, when I'm on the phone with someone, I'm still thinking about gardening. And I tend to get people forced into a gardening conversation. You could say to me, for instance, you could say, I was working on my car's electronic ignition, but I'm gonna have to get somebody else to look at it because I don't know what I'm doing. I would say something like, "Yeah," because I mean, you could definitely, get it fixed. Because once you get it fixed, you can go down to the garden supply store and pick up. See, I will work it into the conversation. Um, um, there's a neighbor of mine that has he has very good grass in his yard. Every year, his grass is killer. Um, and that's what he thrives on. He enjoys that. But I went to a store and found these big bags. I think like 40-pound bags of weed, feed, and something else it does to the lawn. They were $60 a bag, marked down to $6 a bag. I immediately called him up, and he came. Only I don't know how many bags. I think he put up 4 or 5 bags. But his buddy, which was a landscaper, came and made better killing. He did better because he just grabbed more of the item because Um, but I didn't grab any of it because I'm not into lawns. The only thing plus I need my grass for another purpose. See, I use my grass as a mulch around my plants. That is important to me. So I don't need to put anything on it like weed and feed, weed killers mixed in. I don't need that. I need straight, healthy grass. And I do grow a lot of grass on my property. So what I do is when the days that I want the grass, I use the lawnmower to take up the grass. Once it takes up the grass, I go and put it out on a tarp and let it dry a little bit, and then I disperse it onto my plants. That much around the plant, 15 inches in circumference around the area of the plant. Allow it to, um, uh, you moisten it with water, and that allows that part of the ground to stay moist. It allows it to stay moist. That in turn will feed your grass, keep the temperature moderately regulated. It will also uh, help you to stop watering so much because watering a lot of times is a problem, and people don't understand. A lot of times they say, "Well, I'm going to water my garden." They watered it 2 days ago. But wouldn't it be great if you could hold on to that water 4, maybe 5 days, that same amount of water? Uh, because when you water your garden, you're actually washing out your fertilizer. So you don't want to do that. You know, you don't want to do that. Without your fertilizer, you want to keep that that there. Grass catches for my rider mower. I was getting ready to do that with my rider mower to get the grass catcher, but what they charging for that? I said, no, I'm not doing that. I said, I'm going to go ahead and use my regular front wheel drive mower. It's slower. Um, it's slower and it takes more time, but you know, I said I'll do it that way. But yeah, a rider mower would definitely knock it out quicker because what I drag behind me is a tarp. Tarp, rake, empty, tarp, move it, cut, empty in the tarp, and then drag it all back to the back of the property. And then I use that grass to feed my lawn. Now, I mean to feed my crops. Um, Everything in my property this year will be, and I'm gonna see a lot of you doing the same thing because of videos like mine. You must mulch your yards. You must mulch them because it helps you to cut back on water. It helps for you to feed your and keep the temperature moderate, regulated, as I said earlier. And you're using grass that normally most people mulch and leave right there on the lawn. It looks bad. You know, you want to use that for something. I just wanted to say thanks, Mooney Gardner, for the tips and starting your seeds at the top of the. Listen, I want to thank you for that. I want to thank you for that because I have been running into good people that have been calling my name. I love it. They've been calling my name about this technique I came up with planting seeds on top of the trays. And I appreciate it. I appreciate the shout outs. Thank you very much. Thank you, my family. Thank you. Thank you very much. Because they shouting it out, they put it out there, and people are seeing it. They're seeing it on my channel, they're seeing it on their channel, and it's moving around. I found that technique. The reason why I started doing that is because I found that I read a pack of seeds one day and it said these pepper seeds will germinate in 7 to 10 days. And a couple years ago, I was putting my seeds on top, but I missed one important thing when I was putting them on top, when I put the seeds on top, is I wasn't covering them with anything. I would just lay them on top and then water them. What the problem with that is that the water will not stay on top. It falls, gravity, it falls. So I said, wait a minute, what would hold the water up on top? Got it. Vermiculite, because that's what it does. It holds on to water. So how much vermiculite do you put on top of a seed, depending on the size of the seed? All I want to do with the seed is cover it. I don't want to lay large quantities of vermiculite on top of the seed. The second thing you want to do is keep that tray warm. If it's peppers, temperatures of 80 to 85 degrees for germination, you can get those peppers up and going in three days. If you keep the temperature monitored, keep a good check on that temperature and keep it watered properly. Now, I also use my own potting soil mix. My potting soil mix, I'm a fanatic about. I do not. Oh, thank you very much. Nature 9 and family, thank you. And where is the young lady at that was up here? Nature 9 and family. I don't see her here right now. But I got to tell you, y'all been shouting my name out on the internet, and I do appreciate it. Nature 9 and family has been putting up videos and putting the word out there. And I said, wow. I said, I'm going to keep these clips that I'm going to keep these videos that he did that with because there used to be a time when people, they say he got good information. That's all I do is this. That's all I do. I work every day and I study. I'm up 3, 4 in the morning and studying about gardening because I can't sleep because I love gardening. And I'm always tired all the time because I love gardening. I have sat in front of this camera. Some of you may remember, but let's not tell everybody. I have went to sleep in front of this camera while I was doing the show. I did it twice. And I said, okay, that's enough. I gotta get some sleep. I have to get some sleep. I was sitting there in front of people like this, out. And when I go back and I play that tape and I didn't get rid of it, I just said, oh my God, I gotta get some sleep. This is ridiculous. I was actually knocked out sleep online. My good family did not hold it against me. They still stepped in and came and see my show. When they came to see my show, when I come on. Hello, how you doing, Miss Miller? How you doing? I saw, yeah, you saw that. You Miss Miller, remember, she saw that. She said, oh my God, he's asleep. Oh, this is, hey, honey, come here. You won't believe this. Look, come here. You know, because I was out. I was out. And I said to myself, I got some plants downstairs right now that I keep going down and checking the temperature. I have a laser temperature checker. And I wanted it exactly 80 for these peppers, these particular peppers. And the peppers are at 79. And I said, what's the big deal? It's just 1 degree over. But I keep setting it over, but it goes over that 80-degree mark. So I said, God, I wish they would have made a temperature monitor. I mean, a thermostat that was more accurate. Because that's the reason why I can't get it dead on 80. Now I can set it to 85, but you know, I said you'd be better off at 80. Leave it at 80. But I'm expecting those seeds to be up within the next 2 days, maybe 3. But I had to get those ready because what I did is I went outside, and everyone, remember this: if you make mistakes with your plants, you're not perfect. The biggest, baddest pros in the business make mistakes. I put them outside in a cool, partially lit area and fell asleep. And now I normally would set my timer, but I was so tired. I said, no, I'll get up. I'll get it. You know, and the peppers did not like that. And I looked and saw that scorch on um, their leaves. I said, these are done. I said, keep them, see what they grow out to be. But in the meantime, these majority of these are done. Um, I use a container like this, folks. This is what I grow my tomatoes in. Any of you seen my videos, you've seen how I grow tomatoes. I put 10 tomatoes in this one little small area. I put 10, 12, 18. I'll put them in here and grow out my tomatoes and allow them to grow. And I've had much success doing it that way over the years. I do peppers like that, and I do tomatoes like that. I do eggplants like that. You name it. I do it that way because, and again, they're just placed on top, vermiculite on top, watered in with a formula that I use. I haven't given it out yet. I'm going to give it out one day, but I use my own certain formula and I put it on top, and it makes they just come out, and within 2-3 days they'll come out. And so I'm not worried about being out of peppers this year because I still have some left, and I just ruined like one container. Something else I've learned: don't do that thing where you says, "Oh, I remember what's in there." Mark all your trays, folks. Mark your trays. Definitely mark them. Let's see. Hot pepper seeds and moist wet towels. Moist wet towels are good. You can use it. It works, and it does germinate seeds fast. It does. I just didn't catch on to that particular style of doing it. It works. Yes, it does. And I just didn't do it that way. I tried it before, and I had all these different seeds, and I had them all these plastic bags, and I had the towels in there, and some were germinating, some weren't, and it was like it was all over the place. And I was like, I just let's see. It works for some people. It does work for some people. I see. We got so tired, cold, and everything. Yeah, definitely dormant. Yeah, I can understand that. Let's see. Growing Garden says that's your name yesterday. Oh, okay. Let's see. The VA growing garden. I said your name yesterday. I found a lot of people online I say, I did not think it would work at first. Laugh out loud. They didn't think it would work at first. Um, but I still hear people saying, I will try this as an experiment. No, it actually works. Um, I've seen one lady do a variation on it, which was different than what I do. She put them on the soil, and she didn't put any vermiculite on top of them. Well, see, you have to. Well, let me not say have to. I say it's a better deal if you put the vermiculite on top because the vermiculite is what holds your moisture there. When you put it on top without it, you can moisten the seeds down with a spray bottle of water. But when you go away and go to work for 8 hours and 9 hours, whatever, the seeds are going to dry out. They're going to dry out, and so you're going to lose some of your germination right there of some of your seeds, and you don't want to do that. I want to put 10 seeds down and get 9 germinate or 8 germinate, but I don't want to come from 10 seeds and go down to it's just 6 or 5 because I'm losing seeds because of it not being moist. You need to keep seeds moist, and you need to check your seedlings every single day because they can dry out, and especially when you put them under the light and you got them on that light, and they will dry out in a heartbeat. Last thing about that is make certain that none of us, you good people here, none of you get caught up in buying one of those expensive lights that they're going to take your stimulus money and run off to the bank like this. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what they're going to do with your stimulus money because I'm using a $26 4-foot shop light with 2 fluorescent tubes in it. T8, I think it is. T8, I think it's the name, the type of bulb, T8 bulbs. And that's what I use. I'm not buying $500 worth of light. I wouldn't buy them if they were $250 worth of lights. When I could go get all these years, people have been growing beautiful plants with 4-foot shop lights. Some of them get fancy now. They'll get the shop light that's 4 feet, which I try to get a hold of them, but I didn't want to spend the money. They got full bulbs. They're 4 feet long and they got full bulbs. So you got more of a coverage. Shoot, I wish I would have got them now, but my 4-foot light works and it does what I need to do. Got mine for $27. That's how you do it. I paid I think it was either $26 or $30 I paid for mine. And then I went back one year and I broke down and bought that tube that's for gardening. Let's see. I use a $20 light and a $1 thin pan for reflecting. Okay, now I had a lady ask me about reflecting. Here's what I use. I went at Home Depot one day and I was trying to fix a hole in the wall. And I bought some styrofoam. It came in little sheets, it's about a foot wide, about 4 feet long. I don't know what they use it for, but I bought them. They was cheap and I bought them. So they sat in the closet for the longest time. I fixed a hole in that wall. I did with it and then put the plaster over it, whatever. Long story short, when I did that, I had 2, maybe 3 sheets left over. So I started to think, and I said, wait a minute. I took one of the sheets, styrofoam, about that thick, and I put it behind the plants, and I left the light on top. The plants started growing better because of the reflection of white. And I said, got it. I said, because I didn't want to use I was going to use aluminum foil. I was buying aluminum foil and get ready to prep up for doing it that way. But, I said at the last minute, I said, no, just use white and let the white reflect. Let it reflect onto the plants and you should be fine. And the plants grow much better than just without having a reflection there. It does make a difference. Now, you don't have to use styrofoam. I found out you can use something like this. Paper. Just paper. Just white paper. pasted together, taped together, and put it in the background because it's white. All you want is the fact that it's white. And that's how that works. So on that note, I know I'm bending you guys' ears too much, family, but you know, I get on a roll and I just can't stop. I say, what about onion seeds? Onion seeds video lately saying that it shouldn't trim off the tops with it. It's okay now. Let's see. What about onion seeds? What about onion seeds? If you go down and look at one of my videos, you see onions that were grown by sprinkling the seeds on top. The one thing I want to try to get across to everybody on earth is that you can do it with any seed. Do it with any seed. Big peas at Baker Cross laid on top. I have much success with them. Watermelon seeds, cantaloupe seeds, you name it. It does the exact same thing. I do not plant under the ground anymore. I just don't. Why would I want to put my seed an inch deep in cold soil and just wait? For what? Sit it on top. The moisture, the root will come out, drill down into the ground, and the rest of the plant will go up. Why would I want to do that? Plus, the plants are performing better for one simple reason. You're allowing maximum amount of oxygen to get to that root. It's not being buried too deep. You're not going to make a mistake and do that. It's just being set right on top. So when it bores down into the ground, the part of the seed that's here, look, the idea came from a tree. Okay? Let's be honest about it. A tree that I planted one year and did not dig a hole. I just set it on top and the tree did the rest. You know, I set it on top. If you want to look that video up, go look at No Dig. I think it's No Dig Tree. Now, others have made videos after they saw my video. They made videos. And to look at that, all you got to do is look at the date and look at mine. Mine was 4 years ago. Like I just said, about 3 or 4 years ago, I started doing this technique. And if you look at theirs was like 2 years ago. And they still did their own little twist on, but it was the exact same thing I did. I simply just set it on top and the tree dug itself in. And the tree outproduced the other trees that I had that was grown in a traditional fashion. It outperformed them. It outperformed them. It took my other trees 2 years to produce peaches. It took this tree 1 year, and it was producing enough apples for me to eat. 1 year. I mean, and I was like, wow, oh my God, I'm on to something here. Yep. And it's the only video, if you want to look it up on YouTube, it's the only video on YouTube was a No Dig Tree. It's the only one on there. That was the first one put down on there. I only do this stuff because I'm obsessed with it. See, imitation is the best. But absolutely, imitation is the best compliment. Absolutely. I like that. I like that. I like what you said because that is true. And the thing about it is, I saw how it worked, and it all started was an accident. I had an extra tree, was a Honey Crisp apple tree, dwarf. I did not want the tree. I had 26 trees on my property. And I said, what am I going to do with this? I got 10 apple trees. Oh my God. I gave 10 apple trees to this lady up the street. I didn't even know her name, but I kept seeing her gardening out there. And I said, Miss, would you like some trees? Her husband came out there too, was looking at me all strange. Like somebody was, after this lady. But no, look, Miss, you want these trees? Because I don't want to just throw them in the trash. I said, take them to your church, take them to your house, wherever you want to plant them at, but they're free. So, and that was an accident. A tree company sent them to me. I called them up. They said, no, don't send them back. Just keep them. I said, okay. And I had nothing to do with them. I didn't know what to do with them. But anyway, long story short, I didn't know what to do with the tree I had. I put in 10 apple trees, and there was no more space for another apple tree. And the space where I did wound up putting it at was a space that was never meant to be used for an apple tree. So what I did, tired, think about it. I'm tired, end of the day. I want to go get away from it. I took the tree, set it on the ground, covered around it just to hold it in place with some compost. And I walked away from it and just left it there. Came back out, day in and day out. The tree was still sitting there. I'm still trying to decide is I'm gonna just let it die, or if I'm gonna keep the tree, what am I gonna do with this tree? I finally looked over it. I went to go pick it up. It was attached to the ground. It was attached to the ground. I said, wait a minute. This tree wasn't this heavy before. And I pulled it again. I said, uh-oh, it's attaching itself to the ground. Leave it. And I left it. Month or 2 months later, the tree started growing and leafing out. It was still loose in the ground a little bit. I left it. I didn't put no stakes on it to help frame it up. In fact, I don't like to put stakes up to hold my trees in place. If they're not tough enough to survive, then the heck with them. I want the wind to whip them around a little bit so they can build a stronger trunk. So long story short, 4 months later, it was blossoming. 5 or 6 months later, after that, I started seeing small fruits on it, and that was the beginning of the planting things on top. That was the beginning of it. And the tree is still out there now, Honeycrisp apple tree. And the thing, wait a minute, I'm wrong, folks. I apologize. It's a Granny Smith apple tree. It's a Granny Smith. It's a Granny Smith apple tree. I like what you put here. 76. Birds drop seeds all the time and they grow. Exact. Now look, when he put it like that, folks, exactly my point. When seeds drop off of a sunflower seed plant, it drops, hits the ground. Some of them are eaten by insects, some of them are eaten by birds, some of them are eaten by animals, but some of them survive and they grow crops the following year. Another thing, have you ever lost tomatoes in your property where they fell off because they were overripe or whatever? Once they lay on the ground, they get covered by weeds, and so animals don't get to them or they don't find all of the seeds. And then next year you see volunteers coming up. Yeah, that's what they're coming up. They were laying on top. Good point not out. Broke Farmer 76. And I gotta say I like that name because my channel is mainly focused on people saving money. And I try to show many ways that I possibly know of for people to save money. Thank you very much for the thumbs up. 5 thumbs up. Thank you. Well, I'm gonna get out of you people's ear because I know you're getting tired of hearing my old rambling on, but I want to thank you for stopping by. Really thank you. And keep in mind that my show is on Monday at 6 and Wednesday at 6 p.m. Thank you very much. This is the Morning Gardener. Thank you. Remember to keep on growing.